Let's begin to talk about the As the Crow Flies activity and the student activity sheet that goes with it. This activity is one that allows students to take a concrete example and the Pythagorean theorem, something they know from middle school, and use that to understand the concept and derive the distance formula with variables. This activity is not one that should take an entire classroom day, but only the beginning portion, so that you can use the rest of that day for students to practice the distance formula and to really take that time to understand where that derivation comes from. Let's begin by looking at the directions. Suppose that the city in which you live has a system of evenly spaced perpendicular streets, forming square city blocks. The map below shows your school, your house, which is located 2 blocks west and 5 blocks north of the school, and Amy's house, which is located 8 blocks east and 1 block south of the school. Our first question asked us how many blocks would you have to drive to get from your house to Amy's house? Draw the path that you would drive and calculate that distance. So we might want to remind our students of a few things. The fact that these are city blocks, so we can't just drive any way that we want to. We have to actually stay on the road. And in the directions, it did talk to us about the streets being evenly spaced and perpendicular. So for me to get from my house to Amy's house, I need to stay along the road. And there is an alternate path that they can take going and down. But of course, we'll get the same distance either way. So if we count, we are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 blocks this way. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 blocks to Amy's house. So all in total, we are 16 blocks away from our house to Amy's house. What if you could use a helicopter to fly straight from your house to Amy's house? Draw the path that you would take. How could you find that distance? So notice that it doesn't tell me to find the distance. It asks me how I could find the distance. So we do want to talk to our students here again, or have them realize that because these streets are perpendicular, there is a right angle at their intersections, so we can use Pythagorean theorem in order to calculate what that distance is. On number 3, we are now asked to establish a coordinate axis system with the school as our origin. So with the school as our origin, we want to draw in our x and our y axis. My x-axis and my y-axis. And it's here where a lot of students start to realize for themselves that there is a lot of things going on in this picture. And so using colors, whether colored pencils or highlighters or colored pens, is something that can be helpful for them in order to differentiate between each of the different lines. Now that we have our school as the origin and we have our axis system drawn, they want us to answer what the coordinates would be for our house and for our friend's house. So what we'll do now is let you finish out the rest of this activity, and we will debrief everything when we all get back together.